Gaurav, how does a small and medium business begin to build a sales team? Because what happens is with SMEs, one, they have low budgets. Second, they have low bandwidths because generally the promoter, the founder is wearing multiple hats and they are typically heading all of the business and all of the divisions. So they're low on bandwidth. And third, they also have a lack of talent pool. Not all people are running to join SMEs. So how would you suggest how they should start building a sales team? What kind of people they should hire?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I'll say at the outset is just this, that never ever think of hiring as an expense, right? When we're starting out, and no matter how small we are, like I started my first company from home. And I'm of course going to go back now to 1997, 98, when Consortium started, from home as a solopreneur, which was me. And at the time I said, oh, you know what, I don't have, the resources to get anyone. And the first person I probably brought on in Narinder, who's still with me even today, 22 years later. So he's, handling a lot of our online dispatches and, that kind of division. Indrajit followed. Indrajit is, of course, our general manager, and he's there. And he's, of course, the person behind the entire organization. So all of these are places that we have to kind of extend ourselves a little bit. So not only are you letting go of a little bit of, let's just say, money, but you're also letting go a little bit of, authority and all of that. Even when I met Grant Cardone, I said, Grant, GC bro, what is the biggest mistake you ever made? And he says, for 16 years, I was a solopreneur. 16 saal, he did everything himself. So imagine, creating your content, delivering your content, creating the invoices, sending the invoices, following up for payments, following up for more business. I mean, I would just go crazy. And I'm like, that's just nuts. So when I did take Grant's license, and this is in the Gaurav Bhagat Academy, July 2018, the first thing I called, my team, and I said, let's start hiring for the GBA. And that's where we had, the team come in, for the GBA. Today we have, even though it's an organization that's lean, I mean, there we have someone in accounts, we have in, social media, we have, an admin, we have a couple of people in other divisions as well. But the point is that we just knew that, okay, we need to invest in these people, because then, we as, the key entrepreneurs can focus on strategy, can focus on business development, can focus on getting out there and making the larger things happen. I mean, ideally, if I started, making now, the designs and the slides and the invoices and following up on payments, it would be a major waste of my time, and if your purpose in your company is to go out there and change the world with your product and service, you can't be doing the really small things. Now, coming back to your point of, okay, but we can't afford it. Think about it. There are today people, the gig economy exists today. There are things which are never there in the 1990s or early 2000s, like the Fivers and all the places where you have a gig economy going, where you can actually get, an online Filipino virtual assistant who can come and work for you for 10,000 rupees a month. Now, 10,000 rupees a month for someone who could be that productive to take care of all your stuff, why do you not explore that option? Why do you not go to a Fiverr to have someone, design a brochure for $5, right? And if you think, nahi, ye to main khud hi kar lunga, to kya aap khud karoge? You can't. So I just think it's very important to, of course, believe that, yes, I need to let go. Yes, believe that, okay, it's going to be a little bit of an investment. So never think of hiring as an expense. Think of it as an investment. It will be an investment, but it will pay off like 10x. So that's very important. In terms of the process, that we follow, and I always tell people, the first thing is be very certain on who you need and what you need them for. So, of course, the first thing is, create that JD where you write down every possible thing that you want from this person. And there's a list I used to once make, and I said, okay, these are the essentials. Okay, these are things that are non-negotiables. Ye to hona hi hona hai, right? Then there are the desirables, which is that if these things are there, that'll be super. And finally, you have, the bonus areas. If those are there, then, to like chandi, so as they speak. And I remember sending this once to, the hiring company. So the consultant who was helping us, and, he calls me back and he says, sir, tum, ye dhund rahe ho ki Iron Man? So I said, the point is, okay, that's my wish list. I said, buddy, bring what you can bring to the table. I said, this is what I really want. And fine, we probably found, someone who was somewhere in the middle, but it actually happened. So very important to write down absolutely everything that you want of the person. Of course, the next thing is then float it. And you can do it through, the sites that are there, the Naukris and, all of that. And of course, you've got the companies. You can also put on your own social media, which is free. Put out on LinkedIn, put out on your own Facebook, your own Insta. We've started using Hirect. Hirect is an awesome app. It's something that's, available to everyone. You can actually post positions directly, get feedback. So our last 4 positions have happened through Hirect. I really like that app. So that's that. So you float the position. Of course, once you start getting responses in sales, I see you must ask for a video, because a video is, these are people who are going to be customer facing, either on a Zoom screen like we are now, or they're going to be getting in front of people. So you want to know, okay, what does he or she look like? How are they speaking? Will they be able to do justice to my product? Now, sometimes you have people who won't send you a video. And at that point, maybe you just want to think that, okay, if this person is not even confident enough to send me a video, will they be the right people to go out there and be marketing me ahead? So yes, it will be a hit and miss. You'll have some people who will kind of miss on this. You'll have some people who will hit on this. Um, you could also do a Zoom call where, once you've said that, okay, this person seems right, let's do a Zoom call. So you can do a Zoom call. You can see how that interaction actually went. So that would be another step I'd recommend. Um, DISC, I love DISC in sales. And DISC is, of course, a psychometric assessment. It's DISC. And if you send them a DISC test, what you get back is it helps tell you what kind of person this is, and what is their natural state and what is their adapted state. At the GBA, I'm also DISC certified. And I think in sales, when you get DISC along with all the other sales things, then you're out there to really crush it. So I still do a conversation where I still ask the salesperson in terms of, sell me this pen. And you hand over a pen to them, and everyone says, oh, but that is a cliched question. But I'll tell you this, there are people who I've known who've had 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of experience. And I say, sell me this pen. And they pick up the pen and say, sir, itna comfortable hai, itna acha likhta hai, itna sundar hai. I'm like, but you did not even fact find. You did not even ask me if I use a pen, or maybe I moved to, one of these, Apple tablets now, and I've got an Apple pencil. So you didn't even ask me about my current condition. You just started pushing what you thought was right. So, that is a big red flag. And personally, I've been in interviews where I've told people they were great, everything else is super. But because they didn't fact find, I said, I'm sorry, I can't hire you. And they're like, I don't know why. And they said, because you did not fact find. In sales, if you don't fact find, okay, then you're going to get the rates of, and no offense to anyone here, but someone who just sells vegetables on a cart, so like a sabzi wala. If you want to get the rates of a consultant, you have to ask questions like a consultant. You have to fact find. And if someone says, I've been doing sales for 10 years and they don't fact find and they get straight to the demonstration, for me, that's a red flag, which is not going to fly. And of course, once we hire them, we always hire with a 3-month trial, saying that if it works, great, this is your package. After 3 months, you'll be at this point, you get these kind of benefits. And if it doesn't, well, then that's just too bad. So I would recommend use some of these, techniques. Of course, be very clear on who you need. Use the power of video to get stuff in. Use apps like Hirect and others, when you're floating these positions. And yeah, and definitely go out and hire. Don't ever think that paise kahan se aayenge. Boss matlab, when you go out for your Saturday nights, have a couple of whiskeys less or have a couple of beers less, right? Put some money aside. But, and like I said, go out there and take a loan if you have to. When I started my first company, I need money. I didn't have money. I went to a bank and the bank said, what's your collateral? I had no collateral. And he said, kuch to hoga. And I said, hi, my parents did an LIC policy. Can I get a loan against a LIC policy? So I pledged my LIC policy that my parents had taken from me when I was a kid. And that's how I got my first 6 lakh rupees to, do my first thing. So just know that, where there's a will, there's a way. Today you have, there's so much happening in terms of, crowdfunding. There is so much happening in terms of, people who will just want to come out and help you, but never ever think that hiring shouldn't be happening and we can do everything ourselves. It's the biggest mistake and the biggest disservice that one can do to themselves.